Trump raised tariffs on Canada from 25% to 35%. He said it was about fairness. But really, it was about power. The message was clear: bow down or pay the price. But Canada didn't blink. Prime Minister Mark Carney called it what it was, political blackmail, and stood firm. Canada is not for sale. Trump thought the 35% bomb would break Canada. Instead, it fizzled. Here's why: more than 95% of Canadian exports to the US are still tariff-free under the USMCA. According to the Bank of Canada, once exemptions are factored in, Canadian producers only pay about 2.3 to 5% on average. The big scary tariff. Nothing but noise. And while Trump flexed, Canada quietly built a strategy. Support packages worth over $1 billion were rolled out to protect lumber and steel. Core industries like aluminum and rail started shifting production home. Instead of retreating, Canada evolved under pressure. And here's the part Trump didn't want to hear: America needs Canada more than Canada needs America. 9 million American jobs rely directly on Canadian trade. That's auto workers in Michigan, steel plants in Pennsylvania, aerospace engineers in Kansas. Ontario alone supports millions of American jobs. Canada is the United States' biggest export market, over $350 billion in goods and services in 2024, more than Japan, China, the UK, and France combined. Trump thought Canada was the weaker partner. But the numbers prove otherwise. And it wasn't just about economics. When Canada recognized Palestine, Trump exploded. But when Mexico and European nations did the same, he stayed quiet. Why? Because he sees Canada as the country he can pressure. He even signed the 35% tariff order right after Canada's recognition announcement, trying to use diplomacy as a weapon in trade. Carney didn't back down. He kept negotiating, but only for the right deal, not just any deal. This isn't just a tariff dispute. It's a diplomatic fistfight. And Trump's bullying is turning even moderates into fighters. Ontario Premier Doug Ford, not exactly known for fiery nationalism, told Carney to hit Trump back hard. When moderates call for retaliation, you know the pressure has gone too far. And retaliation is already reshaping the economy. American wines vanished from Canadian shelves, and domestic producers stepped in. Quebec's wine sales are up 60%. Ontario wines are booming. Consumers embraced it, turning a boycott into a movement. The same is happening with aluminum and steel. Canada supplied nearly half of America's aluminum imports. Tariffs have forced Canada to redirect exports, build domestic can production, and even consider shifting raw metal flows to Asia and Europe. What was supposed to weaken Canada is making it more independent. And while Trump's tariffs barely dented Canada, they're crushing Americans. App News confirms most Canadian exports remain tariff-free. But US consumers are paying billions in extra costs, higher prices for food, drinks, cars, and construction materials. The US trade deficit just jumped nearly 19%, hitting $71.5 billion. Exports fell, imports stayed flat. Protectionist walls aren't fixing the problem, they're making it worse. In autos, the pain is obvious. Car parts cross the border 6 to 8 times before final assembly. Every tariff piles on costs. That's $1,500 to $3,000 more per car for American buyers. In an industry where a single day of shutdown can cost $50 million, tariffs are like pouring sand into the gears. Meanwhile, competitors like Japan, Germany, and South Korea keep running smooth supply chains, selling cars cheaper while US factories slow down. Canada, on the other hand, is diversifying fast. Exports to Japan are up 23%, to Germany 46%, and to the UK nearly 300%. The US is no longer Canada's only option. The biggest shift: energy. On June 30, 2025, Canada shipped its first LNG tanker from British Columbia Strait to Asia. That one cargo was worth over $50 million, sold at higher global prices, bypassing the US completely. For decades, Washington counted on being Canada's mandatory customer for energy. That leverage is gone. Every contract signed in euros or yuan instead of US dollars weakens America's grip. And while Canada opens new doors, US households face higher energy costs. Aluminum premiums hit record highs, new car prices already above $48,000, and living expenses are climbing. Trump thought tariffs would scare Canada into submission. Instead, they've backfired, hurting Americans, isolating Washington, and strengthening Canada. This fight isn't just about trade. It's about endurance. Trump is betting Canada will get tired and give in. But every hit is making Canada harder, sharper, more independent. Trump makes noise. Canada builds strength. And in the end, noise fades, but strength endures. So here's the question: who really won this round, the US or Canada? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Untold Compass for more deep dives into the battles shaping our world.